Dance floor pleasures. RTE Pulse.
Are you looking forward in anything in particular that you're looking forward to in 2012?
I'm looking forward to, I love the festivals. I always love the festivals. So
Yeah.
I guess there's certain festivals that are always kind of special. I love Sonar in Barcelona, where
Very
I'm
nice.
going to be doing something there. And Festival in the Isle of Wight is always really special. And this year, Radio 1 are putting on a huge festival in Hackney in East London for the Olympics.
Very nice.
And it's a massive festival. It's like kind of Glastonbury proportions. They've borrowed the fence that Glastonbury uses, and they've got like a main stage the same size of Reading, and a big like 12,000 capacity dance tents, and just a huge scale. So that's really exciting because it's a first, and it's the biggest thing Radio 1's ever done in terms of an event, and it's all free, so it should be brilliant.
And it is a brilliant time to be involved with the DJing, with the Olympics coming over. London should be packed and really vibrant during the summer this year.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I haven't like really thought about the actual Olympics, more just about everything around.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll get excited about the actual Olympic Games at some point too. But yeah, it's good to see, it's good for East London.
And I was over in London over at the start of the year, and I was just over there for 2 or 3 days, but the place just inspires you so much, and you come back to Dublin and you go, right, got to start work and do this, do that. Like, London is a really, really nice place to be.
I think so, yeah. I'm glad you think so too. I love living here. I think it's one of those places where, I guess it's not any more expensive than Dublin, but when I came here first, it definitely was more expensive than Dublin, and it was kind of one of them places where it helps if you have a job that you like and that you actually can get money and live because it's I'm here because I'm lucky enough to get a job that I love, so I love London. I find it really inspiring in terms of music and in terms of just the multiculturalism of it. Like it's just such a melting pot of cultures, and everyone kind of seems to live pretty happily with each other. The only other place I've been to in the world that reminds me of that is New York. It's kind of just, a huge melting pot, a kind of a microcosm of the world in terms of culture. And people, it's not always hunky-dory, but in general, people, live really happily beside one another, which is how it should be.
How did you get into BBC Radio?
It was kind of a long process. I did a master's in radio, and then I worked in various different little stations based in London, digital ones and internet ones, and I worked as a radio plugger, which is basically the job is that your job is to get music played on the radio. So labels would pay you a certain amount of money to get their track played on the radio. So I worked running an office for a music plugger and kind of helping her out. So I learned a lot about who was who in radio and who did what shows and what those shows were. So because of that, I managed to get some contacts, and I started just emailing people and knocking on doors. And it took a couple of years of knocking on doors and a couple of years of getting more, good radio experience. And then I got a job in Radio London, a local BBC station.
Very good.
And from there I got into Radio 1. So it was really like to get the job in the local BBC station really helped getting into Radio 1, because the systems, how what their editing systems, various people in common. You can say, oh, I've worked with this DJ and that DJ, and it just helps. So it took 2 years to get in.
Your style is very personal. How did you hone that, or is it just something that came natural to you?
Yeah, there wasn't really any honing. I'm sure
Really?
I probably should say that it's been really considered. I think for me the most important thing about being a DJ, about being someone whose job it is to kind of play your music, is that people believe you and they trust you. So I think it's really important that whatever you say is from the heart, so that they don't think that you're just playing something for the hype, or because I really believe that I'm playing what I like, and I'm in a really privileged position at the BBC to be able to do that. I don't get told what to play on the Friday show, so I think that the more you are yourself, the less problems you can run into, the less you can go wrong. Yeah, because all you are is just being yourself. If you know what I mean.
So tell me about Annie Mac Presents, and how is that started out?
It started out, well, when I got the job on Radio 1 as the dance DJ, I started I was DJing before that at private parties and stuff, and I had like a little gig, but I wasn't a professional dance DJ at the time, so I got really thrown in at the deep end, and was kind of traveling around, and found it kind of terrifying, but really exhilarating, but also just quite kind of, I guess it's quite lonely on the road if you're just heading off on your own every weekend, going to these places where you don't know anyone, staying in hotels by yourself, getting trains, planes, automobiles. It's so much more fun when you have a friend come with you, because then it becomes an adventure. And I said to my agents, I'd really like to do these things, but like bring people with. So why don't we try and do things where we bring like a lineup of people? And that's how it started. So it kind of started in Fabric, room 3 in the back room, and we had people like, you know, Justice when they were starting out, and Milo, and David Holmes, I remember we had as well at the very start, and Paul Epworth. The very first night we had Paul Epworth, who's just won Producer of the Year at the Grammys. But yeah, no, we've had some amazing people. It started out there and then just became, I guess probably with my profile at Radio 1 as well, it became a bigger thing, and now it's going really well. We have big arenas at festivals, and we do a thing at Coco in London every week, or every month, every 2 months, which is selling out now every time, and it's just really fun.
Thanks very much for Annie Mac for coming on the show.